to make their choice.
You see, the reason I'm asking, as you know perfectly well, is there's been lots of talk that, Labour and the Liberal Democrats might gang up to keep the SNP out, even if the SNP were the largest party. I'm asking you whether you would think that was fair.
Well, I don't believe for a minute that the people of Scotland are going to vote next Thursday to make the SNP the largest party.
Well, I know you don't believe that.
They're not going to vote for the increased taxes and the 4 years of turmoil that the SNP stand for. So I don't accept the premise of your question, Gordon. And I'm working flat out over the next 9 days to make sure that we win this election campaign, not just because that's important for which party has which positions in the Parliament, but because it's important for Scotland. It's important for the future of Scotland that we actually have the right policies in place in government.
You're going to have to be quick in this, and we're running out of time.
This election.
The Liberal Democrats want a constitutional convention. The SNP don't seem against the idea. Annabel Goldie was here last night and said she was quite keen on the idea too. Why are you so against it?
Because I think the next 4 years in the Scottish Parliament, amongst a number of other policies that should be implemented, should be devoted to taking forward the Scottish Education Service and
sure, but you're in danger of being like the Tories before 1999. You're the only party that's against change.
No, Gordon, I worked in the Scottish education system when the Tories were in government. The Tories caused untold damage to the Scottish education system. I think the next 4 years in the Scottish Parliament should be devoted to moving Scotland towards having the best education system in the world by 2020. And I think that politicians sitting down around a table discussing their own interests should be secondary to actually discussing and implementing a programme of investment and improvement in education that will make a difference to every child in this country.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Jack McConnell, thanks very much indeed. Now, the chances are you'll find that interview on the YouTube website within an hour or two. Whether it's been posted by a supporter or an opponent depends on the point they're trying to make. All the parties are using the internet in their campaigns, but now there's also a new breed of online activist. Simon Willis reports.
The political parties and activists don't know what effect their internet campaign is having, but they're working hard. Labour's campaign homepage carries this attack on little Alex getting rid of his soldiers.
Because after independence, we don't need so many because we won't be in NATO.
Don't you mean NATO?
Yes.
So an independent Scotland would pull out of NATO?
Yes. But are you sure it's not NATO?
Yes, I'm sure.
Oh. What will happen to all the extra soldiers?
I don't know. I think they might lose their jobs.
Do organisations really get it?
If you get actual recognisable brands or organisations doing it, they follow a political agenda, people are very cynical about it, and they tend to just ignore it, really.
So those are people are trying to get these things to go, viral, as they say?
Yeah, to make them go viral, make people send them to their friends, send them to each other.
Have you seen any successful ones of these?
I think that probably the most successful one that's currently going on is the one that's parodying kind of Jack McConnell and his whole slogan about the best wee country in the world. I mean, that's hilarious. It's got hundreds of views on YouTube.
I'm friends with Gordon, best pal of Tony. I get real mad when they call them phonies. They were born in Scotland, though they support England. They're from the best wee country in the world. Yeah, I'm from Scotland, from bonny Scotland, of lovely mountains and highland lands, of the best whiskey, of the best bucky, led by the best Wee Numpty in the world.
Several companies have tried to do virals and failed, hugely, because the problem is there are laws and there's copyright, there's libel laws offline that there isn't online yet. No one has been sued yet for something that's gone online, so it's difficult for anyone to do it officially. But if you get someone to do it by proxy, it doesn't matter.
And people do just that, posting interviews from this programme, then debating the content. Academics call them political gladiators.
When someone thinks of a new twist and a new take on something and has the ability via the internet to broadcast it, and you have this viral effect of friends emailing friends who then email friends, and all of a sudden you have this explosive growth in hits, it's a fascinating phenomenon. It's not one we understand particularly well. And I think the Scottish experience is going to teach politics in general a great deal about how some unknowns, a new electorate in the internet, these political gladiators who are coming forth and giving us new ideas, new ways of sort of thinking about politics, all of that could have long-term changes, and I think we'll just have to wait and see.
At the start of the year, the SNP began shooting pieces specially for YouTube, and last night began internet broadcasting on its own website.
Now, the election is just a short while off.
No one knows if this convinces voters, but the parties have to try.
Watching things on demand is very much the kind of way to go with young people. They're not big purchasers of newspapers. They're very interested in politics. They're very interested in what's happening in society, but they get all their views mainly online.
So when you see Jack McConnell's interview that was earlier on this programme, they could watch that possibly on YouTube tomorrow. That's probably how they would consume it more than this evening.
More than likely.
Where, strangely, they may also find this report.